There's a Zen master, Zhàozhōu. Many of you, I think, know of Zhàozhōu, also known as Jōshū. And Jōshū is one of the great ancestors of Zen. Jōshū is the being who brought forth the great, powerful blessing of Mu, the koan, the way of practice, Mu. He's also known for the cypress tree in the garden, koan. And Jōshū is beloved for saying something like at age 100, or no, age 80, I believe, Jōshū went on pilgrimage after having been a monk for something like 65 years already, and is well known for saying, if I meet a small child of 5 years old who can teach me the Dharma, I will bow and be taught the Dharma. If I meet an 80-year-old man who I can teach the Dharma, I will bow and teach them the Dharma. There is a text I want to read for you that's like an autobiographical teaching poem that comes down to us from Zen Master Jōshū. The rooster crows, 3 a.m, aware of sadness, feeling down and out, yet getting up. So again, it goes without saying, this is one of the greatest spiritual masters of all time. Rooster crows, 3 a.m, aware of sadness, feeling down and out, yet getting up. There are no warm underclothes to wear, just some tattered pants and something that looks a little like a robe. Wishing to practice the way and help people, actually, this is just being a fool. First light, 5 a.m, a broken down temple in a deserted village. There's nothing worth saying about it. This is where he lives. In the watery morning gruel, there's not a grain of rice. Idly, I face the open window. Only the chattering sparrows as friends. Sitting alone, now and then, I hear dry fallen leaves blow by. Who says that to leave home and become a monastic is to cut off likes and dislikes? If I think about it, before long, tears start to fall. Sunrise, 7 a.m. Doing anything with a goal in mind is to get buried in the dirt. Yet the boundless domain has not yet been completely swept. So he's doing his practice. Doing anything with a goal in mind is to get buried in the dirt. Yet the boundless domain has not yet been completely swept. Often the brows are furrowed. Seldom is the heart content. It's hard to put up with the decrepit old men of the village. Donations have never been brought here, and an untethered donkey eats the weeds in front of the hall. Mid-morning, 9 o'clock. Working to kindle a fire and gazing aimlessly at it. Cakes and cookies ran out last year. Thinking of them today, I swallow my saliva in vain. Seldom are things in order, incessant sighing. Those who come here just ask to have a cup of tea, and not getting any, they go off muttering in anger. Late morning, 11 o'clock. Shaving my head, who would have guessed it would be like this? Nothing in particular made me ask to be a country monk, outcast, hungry, lonely, given no respect. When visitors arrive at the gate, they only ask to borrow tea and paper, and then they go. Sun high in the sky, noon. For carrying the bowl, so monastics traditionally go on alms round. They would take their begging bowl, and people knew this is how they were supported, and they would go beg for food. And if they got food, they got food. If they didn't get food, they didn't get food. It's a life of faith. For carrying the bowl to collect rice and tea, there are no special arrangements. House after house, I'm given only excuses. Some bitter salt, some soured barley, a millet paste mixed with old chard. The way-seeking mind of a practitioner must be solid. You can hear his state of mind starting to shift. His vow starting to come through. Sinking sun, 3 in the afternoon. Turning things around, not walking in the realm of unity or separation. Once I heard a saying, at the time of eating one's fill, 100 days of starvation are forgotten. At the time of glimpsing the true face, all the hardship seems utterly insignificant. At the time of eating one's fill, 100 days of starvation are forgotten. Today my body is just this, not studying Zen, not discussing the teaching. I spread out some torn reeds and sleep in the sun. I can imagine the Pure Land, but that would not be as good as this sun toasting my back. Late afternoon, 5 o'clock. Someone is actually here burning incense and making vows. Of these 5 old women, 3 have goiter, and the other 2 have faces lost in wrinkles. The 2 guardian king statues at the temple gate need not bother flexing their muscles. So when you go into Zen temples, there are these ferocious figures that are embodying how ferocious life is, the ferociousness of change, the ferociousness of old age, sickness, and death, the ferociousness of being a practitioner and not resolving the matter. Of these 5 old women, 3 have goiter, and the other 2 have faces lost in wrinkles. The 2 guardian statues at the gate need not bother flexing their muscles. Sundown, 7 in the evening. Except for the deserted wilderness here, what is there to protect? The way of a monk is to flow on without any special obligations, wandering here and there for eternity. Words that go beyond fixed patterns do not come through the mouth. Aimlessly continuing where the disciples of the Buddha left off, a staff of rough bramble wood. It's not just for mountain walking, but also to chase off dogs. Golden darkness, 9 in the evening. Sitting alone in the darkness of this empty one room. Forever unlit by the flickering candlelight, the space in front of me is pitch black. Hearing no temple bell, only the sound of scurrying old rats. What more has to be done? Every moment is going beyond. He's describing his meditation. Hearing no temple bell, only the sound of scurrying old rats. What more has to be done? Bedtime, 11 at night. The clear moon in front of the gate, to whom is it not given freely? Going back inside, my only regret is that it is time to go to sleep. Besides the clothes on my back, what covers are needed? It's no matter if this old bag is empty. Who could understand such a thing? How can we possibly express the intimacies of practice? How can you possibly express or share the flavors of stillness, the flavors of letting go that you touch? Looks crazy from the outside, what we're doing. Midnight, this indescribable feeling, how could it ever cease? Thinking of all the people who have left home and become monastics. It seems like I've been a temple priest for a long time now. Dirt floor for a bed with a torn reed mat, an old block of wood for a pillow. To the holy figure on the altar, no expensive incense to offer. In the ashes of the incenser, hearing only the falling turd of an ox. It's a pretty clear mind to hear the falling turd of an ox. Must have sounded beautiful.